What's up, Internet? It is JB Productions here with my DBL Draft Analysis. This is the first video that's going up on my channel, and it will be covering my Pokemon League that was started by Ariadon and helped ran by OG Hypnotoad. Great people, check them out. So today we're going over the draft analysis that I got, and here with me is my assistant coach. Introduce yourself, bitch.
Alright, what an intro I get. What's going on, everyone? Rob here, as you know. No, as you probably don't know. Actually,
nobody fucking knows, man. Just alright, we're gonna get with the team intro now.
I tried to be more cocky than I actually was.
You win the GPC one season and it all goes to shit.
It all goes to my head.
Alright. You ready to get into the team, Ray? We drafted, we planned?
I was born ready.
So, he had another assistant coach, Johnny, but he's a bitch and lives in Europe, so he's not here.
Well, you could have just left it at he lives in Europe.
I was gonna leave it at he's a bitch originally, so we'll just go from here. Alright, so the first mon we picked up round one was Excadrill. Yeah, Excadrill's the shit. So the reason Excadrill is so good is because it has so many sets. You could run an Assault Vest set to take on Raikous and Manectrics and all that. It can run Choice Banded, really break some walls down in the sand. You can run Life Orb in sand. Choice Scarf, it can literally almost use every choice item that's not specs, because that'd be fucking dumb. You could go Lumberry to take a hit or anything like that. But the reason we wanted Drill most of all was because it is the best Rapid Spinner, in my opinion, in the entire game. The reason Drill is so good at Rapid Spinning is because in sand it's the fastest mon probably on the field or in the game in general. And because it's very bulky and can definitely take a hit and make sure those rocks are off your side of the field. So that's the reason we picked Drill first round. And we had a plan, but Ray, why don't you tell the nice people what the fuck happened to the plan?
Well, I want to mention that not only does Excadrill get a Rapid Spin, but it also gives us Stealth Rocks, which is always nice. And base 50 attack is worthy of a specs. So I needed to add that in.
Base 50 special attack. Alright, maybe one day. So originally our plan was to get Hippowdon or Tyranitar. We wanted Hippowdon a little bit more. We were trying to get Clef round 2, but that went round 1. We had no chance of getting Clefable. Apparently every fucking person in the league wanted Clefable. But Hippowdon also got taken round 1. So that led me and Ray and Johnny to have to, rebrief ourselves and come up with a new plan. Well, before we move on with that, let's go over Drill's moveset. So Drill has a plethora of moves it can run. Obviously you have the generic stab of Earthquake, Iron Head, and Rock Slide that pretty much hit everything, a lot of things neutrally. Pretty much you're not going to have a neutral switch in, and Rock Slide is usually to hit a super effective
Edgequake.
It's not Edgequake, it's Slidequake, you fucking idiot.
Doesn't it get Stone Edge?
No, it doesn't, actually. That's very controversial. And it also gets Rapid Spin, of course. This is the generic OU set that's on almost every Excadrill.
Swords Dance, of course.
Oh yeah, we can run Swords Dance. We're in the sand. We can definitely pick that up. But the reason that it's so good in League format is because you can plan, you know the checks they're going to bring to it. So say they have, a Psychic type to check, like a bulky Psychic type, like Reunis. We can run Shadow Claw and hit that thing super effectively if we don't want to waste our Earthquakes, because obviously Earthquake does more. But, high crit ratio, so go for game. It also gets X Scissor, which is really nice. X Scissor is a bug type move, so it obviously can hit things even harder than whatever the fuck I just said. And its last really good coverage move is Poison Jab. Hit those fairy types super effectively. Well, not specifically fairy types. Fairy types that aren't weak to iron, steel, whatever the fuck type of coverage that is. The steel typing. So Poison Jab for them. So Ray, why don't you tell people how you feel about Excadrill since you're here?
Excadrill is a really cool mon. I like that it can be defensive in both of the areas due to its HP stat. It's incredible attack stat. I was first really confused on why it was in OU. I was like, these stats are okay. I mean, nothing impressive.
Yeah, base 135 is just shit, isn't it, Ray?
It's just garbage. It's the HP that really carries it up, and the typing pretty much. It has a really good typing in Ground Steel.
Its typing is really, really good. Ground type. It's pretty much like if you have a ground type that doesn't have a 4x weakness, it's extremely good in League format. Is the idea?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So obviously we drafted Drill, and the first Sand Setter we wanted went round 1, so we were not willing to risk Tyranitar dropping and us not getting sand with Excadrill, so we had to pick that up round 2. But I'm very, very excited to use Tyranitar after looking into this mon. It is probably the most versatile mon on our team, and for very good reason, because this thing can go a physical band, it can go scarf, it can go choice specs. This thing has base 95 special attack, Fizz in the GBA ran it special, and it actually put in the work. So this thing can be special, it can do damage, it can be Life Orb, it can be Focus Sash, it can be Dragon Dance, it can be leftovers. If I want it bulkier, it can be lump. It literally can run almost any item. Black glasses if I just want to run some dark stab. It could even be Assault Vest in the sand, so it has the Spadef boost, pretty much doubling Tyranitar's Spadef. Ray, what are your thoughts on Tyranitar as a mon?
Tyranitar is a very good mon. So the idea behind this was, whichever sand setter went first, we would just try and grab the other one. And it happens that one of our friends actually took Dbl.
I'm not sure he's a friend anymore, Ray. Not sure if we can call him that.
So yeah, Tyranitar is just such a good mon, and in the sand, its Spadef goes up, so you can just put it all in defense anyways, and its immunity to fighting type is just so great. Oh wait.
Oh, you asshole.
Not only that, it gives us another stealth rocker, which is nice with sand teams.
It is.
You can just get so many rockers on the team.
And one thing that's very nice about Tyranitar is that like it has the 4x weakness, but you can't really take advantage of it with hidden powers. Like, it has to actually be a special attacking mon to use a hidden power against Tyranitar, because it has the sand boost. It's bulky in the sand. It has 100 base HP, 100 base Spadef. That's getting boosted pretty much with an Assault Vest. So HP fighting isn't actually that much of a problem.
Yeah, definitely. This thing is very cool.
Yeah.
Banded T-Tar.
I'm going to run it. It's going to actually murder something.
Start pursuit trapping. Start extra pursuit trapping things.
Let's jump into Tyranitar's moveset. So like I said, you could run the special set with like Ancient Power, Dark Pulse, Blizzard, or Ice Beam, or
yeah, it's got a very
Fire
nice
Blast.
move pool.
Its move pool is actually just freaking ridiculous. It gets Fire Blast, it gets Blizzard, it gets Ice Beam, I believe. Yes, it gets Ice Beam. It gets all the elemental punches besides Thunder Punch. Nope, it gets Thunder Punch. It gets all the elemental fangs. It gets fighting type
set up
coverage.
in Dragon Dance.
It gets set up in Dragon Dance. It gets Dragon Tail. It gets Dragon Pulse. It gets Dragon Claw. It gets both Earth's moves, Earth Power and Quake. It gets all the fangs, all the punches. It gets pretty much Bolt Beam with does it get Thunderbolt? It gets Thunderbolt. This thing has Bolt Beam and Flamethrower. What is this monster?
Oh my god! And it has Edge Quake.
Yeah, this has Edge Quake. It gets Iron Head. It gets Outrage, Low Kick.
It's Rock Polish.
Yeah, this thing is a fucking. I didn't even realize how much of a fucking monster this is. This move pool is actually. It gets T-Wave. This thing is a god.
Oh
Dynamic
my god,
Punch.
T-Wave Iron Head.
This thing is a fucking amazing.
Rock Polish T-Wave Iron Head. That's the only.
Oh my god, this thing is actually amazing.
It's Whirlpool.
It gets so you could run a stealth rocking set with Stone Edge, Earthquake. But the point is like with this
stuff in it.
Yeah. The point is with this set, like with this monster, with this move pool, we can literally do like whatever we want. If we want a bulky attacker, we can throw it like that. If we want some speed in there to speed creep his walls, we throw 236 in there, we go adamant, we nail some things up. I know on the ladder, this Assault Vest's Max Spadef set just kills Lotties. It's the Lottie killer. Lady killer, Lottie killer. See what I did there, Ray? See what I did there?
What?
Okay, shut the fuck up.
Is it because it rhymed?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Okay, but yeah, so Tyranitar is a monster, and I am excited to get to use it in League format, because I think I can do some real damage with it. Because if you don't know, I'm a fucking god in League format, so...
So yeah, going into these next big picks, we had to really look at covering the fighting weakness that we've developed, and kind of adding to a sand team, like what would benefit a sand team, pretty much.
Can you stutter more, please? I don't think I got it. I'm sorry. Go for it. You can talk about Arcanine. Go for it. Tell me about Arcanine.
Arcanine, oh my god. I've literally drafted this every single time in every league, and I plan to do it until every single league is ever over, ever.
Until it gets taken round 1.
I hope, but I'll take it round 1. I don't care.
Why do you like it so much, Ray? Why?
Arcanine is the best fire type in the format, hands down, no questions asked.
Fuck you, Zard. either Mega.
Oh my god, look at these stats. 90 HP, 110 attack, 80 defense, 100 special attack, 80 special defense, and 95 speed. There's not one bad stat in there. You can literally run it physically defensive, specially defensive, physically attacking, specially attacking. And guess what? It gets recovery in Morning Sun. It gets flamethrower. It gets flare blitz. It gets toxic. It gets E-speed. And you don't even have to run it adamant.
E-speed is nice on the team, so that's definitely a positive because E-speed is
starts your
super priority.
It gives you a potential fire immunity with flash fire.
There was one thing we messed up on while drafting, and we didn't think about. Morning Sun is a move that does get altered by sand.
It does get altered by sand.
So we're going to have to. I think it might be a problem at some point, but I think we have the capability to play around it enough.
Yeah, we'll just have to get a really good cleric to start passing those wishes.
Yeah, and you can see it down the line a little because I record the whole screen, so you can see it down there. But yeah, so Morning Sun does get affected. That's kind of problematic. I think we can play around it, but the biggest thing was I needed something that can wall fighting types. Fairies aren't as reliable anymore because almost every single goddamn fighting type gets a poison coverage. But even if they have Earthquake, they're not going to be doing that much damage to a defensive Arcanine because this thing is just ridiculously bulky. Like Ray said, it can be physically offensive, specially offensive, and it gets the Willow Toxic and nice move pool, Ironhead, Outrage, Crunch. We can do some damage with this thing, definitely. But I want to start building a defensive core because I'm a little bit more of a bulkier player. And at this point, I had a very offensive team, so I wanted to start building a wall core of some kind. Ray, you want to move to the next mon?
I will surely do once I know what that mon is.
It's Salamence.
Salamence. Okay, Salamence okay. So the thing about Salamence is people think it does one thing, but it literally does everything.
I don't think anyone thinks it does one thing.
Okay, well that's what I thought until recently.
I know the damage Salamence can do.
Besides its ice weakness, that's somewhat exploitable, but we have the coverages in the team.
We have T-Tar, which eats up HP Ices for days.
I.e. T-Tar, i.e. Arcanine. This thing, I'm going to go over what it really does.
Okay.
It gets Wish, okay? It gets... What are its other cleric moves?
It gets Wish.
It gets Toxic. It gets Tailwind.
It gets Toxic. Yeah, the basics. So there is a bulky men set that completes an Intimidate core for us with Arcanine, and usually they run Wish, Protect, Toxic. It gets Roar, and they usually run Dragon Claw or something like that. But that's an original set we can bring with Mence that can actually put in some work. Mence is also a Dragon Dance sweeper. That's what it's most known as.
Yeah, its sets and move pool really lets it be diverse.
Yeah, it's another thing that's very similar to T-Tar in the fact that its move pool is actually ridiculous. It gets Iron Tail. It gets the set I'm most excited to use is the Life Orb set with Intimidate, and what you run Special Mence. So Mence's special coverage is ridiculous. It gets Hydro.
Okay, wait.
It drops Dracos. It drops Fire Blast. It does the work, and you throw Roost on there. You're healing up. Your Mence is putting in work. What were you gonna say before you rudely interrupted me?
It gets Swagger.
Oh my God! Confirmed. Set every week.
Swagger double team.
Swagger double team.
Okay, it gives us our first, albeit probably we're never gonna use it as this, but we could.
Defogger.
Defogger.
Yep. Mence does get Defog, so if we run the bulky set, Defog is an option. But I'm really excited to use this thing because it's so offensive on both sides, and it's relatively bulky. If you think of Arcanine as a wall, but realistically, if you look at Arcanine's defense stats, Ray, Salamence is technically bulkier. Yeah, it has 95 HP.
It's just Arcanine's typing is
Yeah, the typing
on
Arcanine
is such a good type.
Yeah, that's what's really pulls Arcanine through. So yeah, but Mence definitely has a lot of potential this season. I've never actually used Mence, so I'm really excited to get to try it out. I'll take the next mon, Ray.
Okay, go for it.
It's Roserade, the grass poison type. Probably not the best grass poison type in League format, but in my opinion, it is the most offensive grass type in League format. You got Superior, but that thing is such a one-trick pony. It's actually ridiculous. Roserade is only special attack based, but the big thing we wanted was on every team I draft, I want some variation of spikes, toxic spikes, whatever you want. It also gives us a cleric and aromatherapy. It can heal itself up with synthesis, also affected by sand, we know. But we think we can play around it, and Synthesis is probably not a move I'll be bringing on Roserade. I'll probably pack Leech Seed, and Grass Utility is so important in League format because Sleep Powder, Aromatherapy, Leech Seed, all of these moves are extremely important. And with Roserade's coverage, yeah, it may not get the best coverage, but the coverage it does get is almost impossible to switch into. Ray, give me a Pokemon that can switch into Roserade. Give me a shot. Go for it. Anything. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, Lugia. So, non-Ubers, got any?
Primal Groudon.
Okay, that's not an Uber. Alright, but yeah. So, it gets Extra Sensory, it gets Dazzling Gleam, it gets Sludge Bomb, it gets... The thing that why Roserade is so good is because it essentially, with these four, with hidden powers, it essentially has base 90 power hidden powers with Technician. So, we have essentially, this thing gets Earth Power, Flamethrower, Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, and Aura Sphere. This thing is actually, when you look at it that way, its coverage is ridiculously strong. You know what I'm saying, Ray?
Yeah, not to mention it has another good ability, if you want to go for that.
Poison Point?
Natural Cure.
Oh, yeah. So, Natural Cure would pretty much make this thing an easy switch-in on water types, because even if they try and scald us, we can just heal it off with Natural Cure, and we take those hits.
Whatsoever.
Yeah. Take those hits like a champ. Spadef, Roserade is always an option. This thing has pretty good, has respectable Spadef stat. So I don't think it's anything to sneeze at and automatically throw out the window because this thing actually has a lot of potential to wall some things, especially grass types because it quad-resists. So that's Roserade. Pretty basic, but it was something our team needed, and I felt like it was important we get it. Ray, you want to talk about the next mon, or should I?
What is the next mon?
Glad you're paying attention, bud. It's Aromatisse.
Aromatisse. I'm not the biggest fan of Aromatisse, but...
Oh, you bitch. Get out the video right now. Get out right now.
It does its job, you know?
Yeah, it does. So...
Okay, go ahead.
Alright, thank you. Alright.
I mean, no, don't go.
Fine, you do it.
As you can see, it has excellent abilities in Aromavale.
Its abilities are shit, dude.
Exactly. And that excellent 29 speed to outspeed the slowest of Slowbros.
We might still outspeed Slowbro, I don't know, maybe.
Okay, go ahead. Just say what you want about this.
Alright, so Aromatisse, yeah, it's a little passive. Yeah, it's a little silly, but the reason it's so good is because, again, it has a very high HP stat, very respectable defenses. Maybe defense not so much, but the Spadef is nice. And we needed a Wish Passer, as Ray said, and it can drop some fat wishes with 101 base HP. It gets access to Calm Mind, so that's an option. It has the Moonblast, it has the Aromatherapy to heal our Mons up. It actually has pretty decent coverage, Flash Cannon, Energy Ball, Drain Punch, so if we need to pack 4 times coverage, we can, Thunderbolt, etc. It gets Toxic, which every Pokemon does, but it's an important thing for walls to have. But it's kind of a one-trick pony, but it's going to hopefully do its job very well and stop dragons from just, like, straight-up 6-0ing our team.
Yeah, and a Cleric fits so well onto this team, especially that being a sand team where our recovery has to do with the sun.
Yeah, so the Cleric is extremely nice to protect and pass wishes to the likes of Arcanine and Roserade if they just so need it.
And 99 special attack's not terrible, to be honest.
No.
And it gets, like, Moonblast and whatnot.
The big thing is with this thing, it hits the 101 HP mark, so its HP is over 400. That means its wishes are 200 HP. And as you can see on
passing that into a Roserade.
Yeah, a Roserade would literally get 75% back from this thing's wish. So that's nice. But yeah, you can go Spadef, you can go defensive. It's a wall. I'm a bulkier player, so we'll see if I can use Aromatisse.
Sweep you with Calm Mind.
Yeah, boy. One day.
Charge Beam.
Charge Beam. Alright, let's get into the next one. I'll do a quick cut so you don't have to see that. And go. Alright. Welcome back, and we have our last 5 mons here.
Wolfpack.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
And today we're using Scarf Deoxys Speed.
Just in case. Alright, so we're back, and we're going to go over the last 5 mons we drafted for the team. And as you can see, we got the power. We got some power. But the first mon we're going to go over is Slowking. Ray, why don't you talk about Slowking?
Slowking is a cool mon, and there is one reason for this. that I will split into multiple reasons, because there's multiple reasons for this.
Because we want to talk for as long as possible. Because it makes the video better. Statistics show.
Okay, here we go. You always need a bulky water type. Slowking is, in fact, a bulky water type. It gets Regenerator, which is my favorite ability for defensive mons, and for offensive mons. It's my favorite ability in general.
It's a lame favorite ability, I'm not gonna lie.
It's so cool. I used it with Slowbro. I used it with Mienshao. It was so effective both times.
We did put in work with Mienshao.
As you can see, that incredible speed stat, it does outspeed Aromatisse. I don't know why
Damn it, Aromatisse!
I don't know why it has slow in it.
It has slow in the name, and you're losing to it.
It has decent HP in 95. It has decent special defense. It has really good special defense in 110. It has good. It has okay defense in.
Oh, but your boy Arcanine's defense is amazing.
80. Yeah, but Arcanine is cooler and it gets respect points. So, and it gets slack off, which is not affected by the sun, which is nice. This thing has so much forms of recovery, so many forms of recovery.
It's a very tough mon to kill.
It's the special Slowbro, and I know Slowbro's better because you want to take some physical hits with this, and you can just do whatever.
But it's physical defense.
Assault vest on Slowking and just put it all on defense.
Its physical defense is respectable in my opinion. Obviously, like if you hit it with super effective on the physical side, even max defense isn't going to appreciate those hits. But the special bulk is really important. Like we said, at this point we have an Intimidate core, so we can somewhat deal with physical attackers, and so we just really, the big thing is psychic types are also extremely important in League formats. The psychic typing is extremely good because of the reason of the item Cobra Berry. Now, what this means is that a lot of dark types these days rely on knockoff for their stabs. So if you get hit with a knockoff, lose your Cobra Berry, you're not taking any damage, and then after that, their knockoffs aren't doing shit because you're a defensive psychic type. So it's so key to have that Cobra Berry sometimes. And with Slowking, it doesn't need leftovers to have healing. It has so many forms. Yeah, it has so many forms of recovery. So we can run that Cobra Berry. We can run that Tanga Berry just in case. Alright, but yeah, so the cool sets with Slowking are the Assault Vest set with 4 attacks. It gets really good coverage, actually, surprisingly.
Fire Blast, Ice Beam, Psychic,
Focus
Scald,
Blast,
Dragon Tail.
It does get the Dragon Tail. But the
T-Wave Toxic.
The always dangerous, yeah, T-Wave is also nice. I love T-Wave.
T-Wave's awesome.
Yeah, the always dangerous set is the Calm Mind again. Is the defensive Calm Mind set with Side Shock.
I would counter that and say the Belly Drum set.
Oh yeah, it does get Belly Drum. We might have to bring it one week. In before.
I mean, 75 attacks, not terrible.
It's honestly not for Belly Drum. But yeah, so the physically defensive Calm Mind set is always a threat. It has tons of recovery. It's a great wall. Can stay alive. And I was really happy to get it as late as we did.
Slowking is an excellent mod. I would recommend it.
Alright, get cut off, bitch. Talk about Wheezing.
Oh god, you're making me talk about Wheezing.
Yeah, I'm making you talk about Wheezing, because he hated this pick.
I don't like Wheezing, okay?
You a bitch.
I know it's not particularly passive. It has 90 attack, 85 special attack, even though you usually want to wear that special, so... Its coverage, its one coverage move, as everyone knows, is Flamethrower.
Gets Dark Pulse.
Everyone just runs Flamethrower.
I know.
That incredible defense stat is all anyone cares about. I don't really. You know what? I think this thing's passive. It gives you Toxic Spikes. It gives you Will-O-Wisp, Taunt, but it's so slow. What are you gonna taunt?
You're such a bitch to Wheezing.
I don't like Wheezing.
Okay, let me tell you why Wheezing is amazing on this team.
Why would you get a poison type that's Levitate? I know it has no weaknesses now, but
it has Psychic.
It has Psychic weakness. It has one less weakness now. But you always need to get a grounded poison type, so they don't start stacking all these toxic
We have
spikes.
one! That's the thing, we have Roserade!
Alright, touche.
Alright, let me just go over why Wheezing is amazing. Wheezing is amazing on this team because Psychic types aren't that worrisome for me because I have Tyranitar, which is the ultimate Psychic type check, in my opinion. Next off, I needed a physically defensive wall. We have Arcanine and we have Mence, but I don't want to bring Mence defensive that often. Wheezing is a defensive mon that is not weak to Earthquake, which is huge for Arcanine, and him and Arcanine actually like work really well together, along with Tyranitar. The three complement each other superiorly. So with Wheezing, I needed something that could set up Toxic Spikes. I wanted something that could, again, check fighting types just in case, and could easily switch in on physical hits. Boy, get wrecked.
Alright, I do like Explosion. I do like Debond.
Yeah, Dbond is nice. Cup stat.
We're slapping a Custap Berry on that.
Stat berry on that.
It gets,
Explosion.
whoa, this is my favorite part about Weezing. It gets every single hidden power.
Oh my god. Just like every mon.
So that's the unique thing about Weezing.
It's not unique.
Exactly.
Alright, let's move on while Ray stops being a bitch. Alright, we have Heliolisk. Ray, how good are fast electric types? Am I right?
Oh my god, I love Heliolisk. Heliolisk is in a good speed tier to outspeed those base 105s. It's base 109, although it doesn't outspeed base 110s, so that's kind of disappointing. It's just like almost there, but it's not.
I originally wanted to draft P2 here because it's bulkier. And
No, if you notice one thing about our draft so far, this is what I had to convince Jared of. We don't have that much speed on the team. We just don't.
That's fair.
We don't have that much speed on the team, and fast electric types are so cool in the format, especially ones with this much freaking coverage, man.
Ray, if you can name me 4 of its coverage moves right now, I will give you $1.
Okay, it gets Dig.
Okay,
it gets
you're done.
Dragon Pulse. It gets
You're
Dragon
going
Tail.
down the moveset. I'm watching you read it.
Oops.
Okay.
Grass Knot.
I didn't know it got Grass Knot, actually. That's
Hidden
nice.
Power Rock.
Bro, I did not actually know this thing got Grass Knot. That is so dope.
I know, it has the coverage, man.
Dude, it gets U-turn too. I love electric types that get U-turn, like Zapdos.
Yes.
Because people sometimes have a motor drive for a ground type to stop your
You can just
momentum.
bamboozle them.
You can just U-turn out and keep your momentum up, and that's awesome, actually.
It's Surf, which is how.
Yeah, I already threw Surf on there. But yeah, there's a spec set, there's a focus sash set, because this thing does not take hits at all. It's got base 52 defense. It could take a SPDF hit, but not a physical hit.
So yeah, so you don't have to run Signal Beam every week like a Jolteon.
Like a Jolteon. Because Jolteon's coverage is actually garbage.
It's Shadow Ball?
It gets Shadow Ball and Signal Beam, and that's about it. And then you run a Hidden Power.
It's like almost as bad as a Magneton, except Magneton gets Tri-Attack, so we can get those
Get those freezes.
freezes.
Yeah, but another big reason we picked this up was Dry Skin. It gives us, for sure, Scald Switch in. So, like, if we don't bring Roserade and we need something to switch into a Vaporeon, we always have Dry Skin Heliolisk that can come in on it, potentially. And with the SPDF, like I said, can potentially take a hit and catch a wish from Aromatisse. So, that's very good. I actually enjoy Heliolisk after looking at its moveset a little more with y'all. So, hopefully Heliolisk can put in some work. And let's jump to the Uber we drafted. It's an Uber. It's not Uber. It's the Blaziken, not Speed Boost. I wish.
What? Why did we even draft it then? I was wondering why it was tier 3.
Why it was tier. That Speed Boost Blaziken was tier 3.
4 actually.
Yeah, it was tier 4. That was good value. So
Okay.
if you don't know, there was 5 tiers. So Blaziken was tier 4, so it was a lower mon. But it's actually a monster, and this is why I love this. I love offense that can go physical and special. That's why I really like Mence and T-Tar, like I said. Blaziken is the definition of going physical or special. Base 120 attack, base 110 special attack, and its coverage is not bad either. You run a Life Orb set on that thing, you got the Blaze, because that's the only ability we are allowed to have, which is lame as shit. Which sucks, actually. So yeah, so it gets Focus Blast, it gets the Vacuum Wave, it gets Flamethrower, it gets a lot of priority, Overheat. Its moveset is actually pretty diverse. It's got moves like Rock Slide and Brave Bird, Superpower. Brave Bird. It gets some of the elemental punches. I don't believe it gets Ice Punch. I could be wrong. I'm not ever.
Swords Dance, of course.
It gets Swords Dance, which is nice. So
the thing I want to add
sweep.
about Blaziken is the main reason we got it at this point is because we wanted a real, like, defined wall breaker. And Blaziken is so underrated. How they had it in tier 4, I will never understand with things like Delibird or whatever the hell they had in
It's tier 5. But Yeah, Zoroark was tier 4 too. That was weird.
So just ban this thing and slap on the high jump kick and just really tear through teams.
High jump kick is a stab that is impossible to switch into. I wish this thing had no guard like our Mega, which you can see to the right, but yeah, it doesn't. But high jump kick is extremely powerful stab, hits base almost 200 power because of stab, which is ridiculous. So Blaziken definitely can give us a great wall breaker with that 252 attack, and it kind of pairs well with the team. I know we have Arcanine, but I feel like our water weakness isn't that bad with Heliolisk and Roserade.
Yeah, I really like Blaziken on this team.
I like Blaziken.
Yeah.
Ray, are you ready to talk about the Mega?
Wait. Okay, now I'm ready.
Alright, so here you got Mega Pidgeot, which is fucking Yeezus Bird, man. Yeezus Bird, it's the nickname. I just made it up. Alright. Mega Pidgeot, Ray, tell me why Mega Pidgeot.
To me.
You fucking name things just what they are.
Mega Pidgeot is obviously called Bird.
Alright, what the fuck is Mega Pidgeot good at?
Mega Pidgeot is good at hitting moves, I think.
Oh,
it's
yeah?
actually pretty reliable.
Let me tell you why you draft Mega Pidgeot. That move right there, that's the only move you have to bring. Hurricane. No guard Hurricane.
100% Hurricane. Why?
Base 110 power, 100% accurate, 30% chance to confuse Hurricanes. This thing is a monster. Its coverage is pretty shit, actually, but
all you need is Hurricane. No switches into a Hurricane.
You need that Hyper Beam on there.
You need a rock type against it.
Yeah, but the biggest thing is this thing keeps up a Volt Turn core with Heliolisk because it gets U-turn, so it can keep up a Volt Turn core. Base 80 attack isn't actually that shit, so we can do some stuff with that. But yeah, the reason you run this thing is Hurricane. So you get rid of your opponent's Hurricane switches, and with this thing's speed, you straight up just try and sweep their team. That's all you have to do. It gets work up as setup, which is actually really cool because it can raise our special attack by 1, essentially giving us specs no-miss Hurricanes, which is amazing. And one of the reasons we needed this was because, as Ray said, our speed was kind of shit at this point. Besides Excadrill and Sand and Heliolisk, we don't have a lot of speed. Mega Pidgeot gives us a base 121 speed Pokemon. That will outspeed a majority of things we go up against.
Yeah, we're really improving our speed tiers now. We don't have to slap a scarf on Blaziken every time.
I still will, man. Every game. Every game it's going to be scarfed.
But I know there's one thing you really want to talk about, and that is how a Mega Pidgeot will work on a sand team. How will it work on a sand team?
Alright, so the biggest thing about a sand team and why Mega Pidgeot's so good on sand teams is because this means that other Hurricane users are not as efficient as Pidgeot. So if we want flying spam, Mega Pidgeot is the only one to go for, a special one to go for on a sand team. Second of all, the reason that Mega Pidgeot is amazing with sand is because of the fighting types that fuck our team before. Guess what, fighting types? You don't want to take a Hurricane from a Mega Pidgeot. Drill and Tyranitar both get fucked by fighting types, and if those fire types get a kill, that pretty much lures in Pidgeot for free. Basically, it's a monster.
It is super dope. I really like this team. I really do. And the fact that the analyst in this league ranked you middle of the table or something.
Got ranked 9th with this team, which is hurtful.
This is probably a better team than I've ever drafted in my life.
Well, Ray, that's not that hard. It's not.
Beat you to it.
Damn it, his self-loathing paid off. Alright, so that's the team for the DBL. We got our Sand. I'm excited to use Weather. I'm excited to use some of our mixed attackers. I'm really excited to use almost everything on this team.
And we only have one bad Pokemon in Weezing, so that's a low ratio. That's 1 to 11?
Triggered hard. But yeah, I'm excited. It's a bit more hyper offense than I'm used to, which is saying something.
Hyper offense is the shit, as Envy showed.
As Envy, the Lord. Alright, but yeah, it's a little more hyper offense than I'm used to. I'll see if I can use it. I'll see you guys next time, and hopefully we can win the DBL. Later.